Welcome to TOV Live. It is Valhalla time. Woohoo! Here, let me get this. Okay, let's see. I remember how to do this. It's been a little while. Hello, everybody. Tonight, welcome to the TOV live stream. Not doing much tonight other than just talking. It's been a minute since I've actually been on the live stream. Hey there, Joe. I see you. I see the comment there. I'll address that comment in a second. Hello, I am Ryan, aka Tales of Valhalla, or you can just call me Tails. I am back after, I'm going to call it a vacation, an adventure to Peru with my family. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I also went to ScapeCon3 about a week ago. That was fun as well. Got some things to tell there. I know a lot of things have happened with Renegade in the past month as well when it comes to HeroScape, and I might talk a little bit about that a little bit. But this Sunday, TOV podcast is coming back. We're gonna have a anniversary stream. It's gonna be a fun time. And so, yeah, that's one thing we do on the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel, and of course we live stream on the Conductor Productions Twitch page as well. I'm known mostly for, though, a stop-motion animated series based on the board game HeroScape, and these four characters you actually see right here, the Airborne Elite in the HeroScape game. I gave them names, personalities, backstories. This one right here, and the funny thing is, my 5-year-old knows the names of these characters now by heart. You can just hand him one and he knows which one that is. We got Henderson here. We have Gimp. We have Toothpick, and we have the Lieutenant Dan. I might have to change up that name though in future seasons because that is kind of a legal thing. I don't know. I might do if anybody's seen The Office, you know, where was it Dwight Schrute, the character of Dwight Schrute? He's like he's not the general manager, but he's the assistant to the general manager or something, or wording like that, and it's like a long-standing joke throughout the whole series. I might do something like that with Lieutenant Dan. Instead of Lieutenant Dan, it's like he's like the assistant of the Sergeant Dan or something like that, just to make it funny. I don't know. It's writing, and it's something that I haven't done. It's mostly brainstorming when it comes to future seasons, and I haven't done much of that either tonight. I hope I'm coming in clear. But anyway, yeah, so the stop motion series, all on YouTube at the present moment. I do plan on editing the series a little bit, turning it into just each season into one long video. That will take time though. But currently, 10 episodes for each season on YouTube. Go to the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel. That is Tales of Valhalla. Type in the search bar, you'll find us. And currently, we still have a contest, and excuse me for the burping. We still have a contest ongoing for the last 3 episodes of Season 3. All you have to do, and you get a chance to win some HeroScape miniatures. I think Maro, you got Zute, you got Greater Ice Elemental. All you have to do is go to the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel, find those last 3 episodes, and it's real easy. Just look up the Season 3 playlist tab. Go to the last 3 episodes of Season 3, which would be episodes 8, 9, and 10. Watch, leave a comment, and you'll be entered into the drawing that will be this Sunday live on the TOV podcast. We're going to do all three name drawings for the prizes on the TOV podcast this Sunday. And yeah, go ahead. Time is running out. We don't have much time. Anyway, okay, Joe, let me see. You leave a comment here. Here on Twitch, you said, "How did you get that timer on the stream? Also, it's stressing me out with the seconds moving way too fast." Well, Joe, that's how time works. It goes by fast, you know. So I don't know what to tell you, Joe. It's something that I decided to put on. Actually, I put on like the last I put on during the premiere streams, and I'll probably have on the TOV podcast too, intro streams as well, because sometimes people say like I have like here, I'll show it. Hold on, just give me a second. I have usually on the start of a live stream, I put this thing up here, getting started in a few. And sometimes people freak out like a few minutes, a few hours, people like, we want to know when exactly. So I just put a timer, and that timer is something that I got. It's part of HitFilm that you can put in, and I researched on how to add it to videos that I have. And so yeah, I think I plan on making multiple videos, different videos, and they'll have that timer on the bottom so people will know when the show is actually starting, within a certain amount of time. So yeah, that I guess that's what I got to say about that. Now I don't plan to go on too long tonight. I'm just doing a little bit of catch up, catching up, because it's been June since the last talk to you guys. We've had kind of a hot summer, haven't we? I wouldn't know, because I've been out of the country since the beginning of July. Me and my family flew to the country of Peru, and we stayed in Lima. We traveled like a 16-hour bus ride up north past Lima to a province, I don't know if it's a province, state in the country, whatever, but called Cajamarca. And we're in the capital of Cajamarca, which is Cajamarca as well. And then from there, we took a smaller bus, and we drove another 3 hours. And this is in the Andes Mountains, by the way. When you get into Cajamarca, there's Andes Mountains, so it's like the elevation goes way high, higher than we have in the States, in the United States here. And so we took a bus ride to a town called San Miguel, which is the birthplace of my wife's father. And he is an 80-year-old man. And when he was born at like 5 years old, he was a shepherd. Literally, a shepherd. And he did not have a pair of shoes until he was about 20 years old. So that's how primitive he used to live. And the place is still kind of primitive. I mean, they don't have hot water, but they got cold water. They don't have, well, they got cement floors, but not even floors, and kind of like dirt floors. Anyway, it was primitive living. The bathroom is outside, and this is actually, here, this is the soil here. You see, you got the airborne elite here. And these are the Andes Mountains, and it's like this patchwork quilt type terrain. If it was in hexagon, that would have floored me. But the square, like that was everywhere. I mean, just the whole. And I mean, they're mountains, but they're covered with just this this red soil and grass. So everything was pretty fertile in this area, and it just looked like a patchwork quilt, just all over the place. And I'll show some more pictures as well in a second. But this is like the dirt and overlooking, and just behind the airborne elite is where we stayed for like a week and a half, just outside of San Miguel. Here, let me show you some photos. Well, first, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Hold on. I do have a timeline. I'm gonna bring it up. So first week coming out, I'm just gonna say that we had a hiccup, and we actually we live in Kentucky, and we drove to Nashville, to the airport to fly out, go to Miami, then fly from Miami to Peru. Well, we had a hiccup when we landed in Miami, to where the airline wasn't allowing us to board our flight for a good reason. Let me just say we just had passport issues, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But to where we actually had to stay a week in Miami to get that issue settled, and then after staying in Miami, then we flew out to Peru, and just yeah, it was crazy. But after we got to Peru, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to follow up my timeline. It's like I said, I remember last year when we talked about Honduras, I was on live streams with my wife for like 4 or 8 times, and I just don't have time to do that this time, and I don't know if I really want to because Peru wasn't as enjoyable as Honduras was, to be perfectly honest. And one reason is because we got sick, and I got really sick when we were in Peru, in San Miguel, actually. The altitude is no joke. The thin air is no joke. The Andes Mountains are no joke. And you can even, I think if you tell by my voice, I'm still recovering. Like 5 days into the trip, and we were in San Miguel. Like me, my wife, my son, all of us got like some form of altitude sickness or whatever, but I got a bad brunt of it to where I ended up getting strep throat as well, being there. And it took us the rest of the trip really to recover. I mean, my wife was having breathing problems just climbing up hills, so was I. Our bodies were just not made for the climate there. My son Jose, he did a little bit better. He was a little bit better, but I mean, we all ended up with fever at one point or another, and it just made for a very uncomfortable trip. But we did have some highlights, and I just want to mention them a little bit. Here, hold on a second. I'll look at these photos. I just want to see what I want to mention real quick here. So needless to say, we had an adventure. I want to call it a vacation. I call it an adventure because vacation is where you just relax and you don't think about anything other than just what are you going to eat next or what are you going to drink next, and just totally relaxing time, de-stressor. That was not this trip. It was more of an adventure. An adventure, anything can happen, and practically almost everything did. Got to experience Peruvian culture, and even though, I mean, I might rant a little bit about Peru, keep in mind, it's no matter what, I still gain perspective, because it's not like we stayed in fancy hotels there in Peru. I mean, we weren't really in the tourist areas. We were with family, with my wife's family, and they do their best to provide for themselves, and I respect that. Just because it's a little bit primitive for me, and I am an ostomy patient, so I do have to be careful when it comes to traveling to different places, and germs that might not be in the States, or bacteria or whatever. So I do have to be kind of cautious for things. So it did push me to my limit, and I'll explain a little bit of some of the things that I'm not saying negative, just challenging about Peru. But just overall, I still appreciate the fact that I was given a perspective to see a different culture. Peru is a very different culture from the States, even Honduras, which I mean is a culture as well, different culture as well. But Peru is still way different. The people are way different. The road system, the transportation system, the way they construct buildings, the mentality of the people, it's just way different. And so it's not good or bad. It's just different. And so for anybody who lives like a typical United States lifestyle, it's going to be a shock. It's going to be a culture shock, no matter what. But I think I handled it well. And my son, I think he had a ball the whole time, with the exception of when we were feeling sick. And so, yeah, just a couple things to point out here. Okay, let me just scroll through. I'm just looking at some photos that I might see. So yeah, stuck in Miami for a week, and then we flew out to Lima. And here, let me just take a look. Here, let me show a map here. Hold on a second. Boop. Okay, so flying. So there's Miami, and we flew down. And Lima's right here, basically, in Peru. And so on the flight, and I imagine like our flight got into nighttime, so by the time it got dark, we were probably like around here. So you couldn't really see anything coming into the country. And we didn't arrive until like midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning. But I think it was around here that I got a video looking out the window, and it was a very interesting video. So here, let me show that real quick. Let me find this. Oh, hold on. Where are the videos? I think they're arranged. No, I don't know. Hold on. Do I have? Oh, wait. Okay, MP4. Okay, hold on. Okay. Anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. If anybody asks about ScapeCon or what Renegade's been talking about, because I know we have some HeroScape YouTubers talking about that. Feel free to ask me, because I do have my own thoughts on that, which we'll discuss the Sunday on the TV podcast as well. But hold on, I'm trying to find. Okay, I probably skipped it. Oh yeah, there we are. All right. So here, let me show this. Here, hold on. Let me open this up. Whoa. Okay. Here, hold on. I gotta turn that down. That is loud. I mean, you all can't hear, but there's nothing to really hear. But I just want you guys to try and see this. Here, let me try and expand this out. This is just an interesting thing that happened on the flight there. Tell me if you can see it. Boom, see? Okay, see a little bit of lightning there. Now, just wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Boom. See that? Here, I'm going to roll it back because it's the beauty of video. You can take a look back at it. So this is looking out the plane window. And yeah, so I can pause it. Boom. See, look, it almost looked like that light was reaching right to the window, but it was, I mean, it just was like a reflection or something. But that was intense. But that's the closest we got to whatever that system was, and then we were flying way past it. G Busy, hey Cody sir, what was my favorite moment at ScapeCon? Well, here I can interrupt myself and talk to you a second. And Cody, I do have to give an apology to your brother, to David, I believe. It's a silly thing to admit, but just extend him an apology for me if you could. On Sunday, when I was up there seeing you guys and had my son with me, I introduced him to my son Jose, but I used a wrong name. I met a lot of people during ScapeCon last week, and I misnamed your brother. I said a different name when introducing Jose, and he took it in stride, bless his heart. But just let him know, Cody, that I recognize I made that mistake and I apologize. And I'll try not to misname people in the future. As you'll see in a second, it's been a crazy month and I have not had a chance to rest too much. Yeah, and Diet Nerd, Sir Joey Ranieri, aka Lieutenant Dan himself, there in the chat saying that's a solid nope on the lightning. Yeah, that was kind of like a wake up call. We had sandwiches on the flight, so that was something. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, okay. G Busy, what was my favorite moment at ScapeCon? Well, I mean, I'll tell you one thing that stood out to me the most for ScapeCon, and I'll come back to ScapeCon in a few minutes as well when I'm done talking about Peru. But overall, even though I was only there technically for like a day and a half, just the energy, the enthusiastic energy of the place, and it was just so positive and so welcoming, and it was a really motivating thing for me to see and experience, and part of me was thinking, this is why I want to come back. You know, this is why I want to come back next year and do the whole ScapeCon, do all whatever number of days next year. Because it's very energizing. It's and it's a lot of fun. So, excuse me. I would say that's what was my favorite thing. I know there's lots of other things that I wanna show from ScapeCon, and I will in un minuto. But here, let me get back to just a couple other things I want to point out about Peru. So here, I'm going to show a map again. Hold on, let me get back to Airborne Elite there. Them surveying the Andes terrain. So let me see here. Look at the map here. If I have it. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, let me pull this up. Okay, so we stayed in Lima for like a day and a half. Then we traveled up to Cajamarca is like around here. And so see, so we got Andes range, mountain range. It's pretty high. And then Cajamarca, Blue Bonnet Boys on location. Yeah, that's pretty much it, Joe. There's too many Joes in the chat now. You got Joe Crazy. You got the Diet Nerd, aka Joe Ranieri, aka Lieutenant Dan, there. But yeah, and that's the only Airborne Elite. I was planning to do more Airborne Elite shots for different areas, but guys, I was really sick, and I lost like 8 pounds while in Peru because not only was I sick, and here, hold on a second, let me bring this. I'm going to show most of the diet of here we go. Primary diet of Peruvians is soup and potatoes, and usually it's a mix of both. So for breakfast, they would have soup with potatoes. Lunch, soup and potatoes, and then just to mix things up for dinner time, it's probably just potatoes, not soup. Every day, and yeah, my son, he doesn't like potatoes, period, and he doesn't like soup that much either. So anytime a meal came up, he just would cry at the table because that's all they had. We didn't prepare very well. But yeah, it's no exaggeration that Peruvians love their soup. And here, I got a picture here of some soup there. There's okay. See, there's you got some nuts there. You got some bread. They do have their bread, but see, this is soup and potatoes swimming in there. You got a little bit of salad there. Let me see here. Let me get this up. So this is a purple potato. You see that there, with more purple potatoes in the background there, with soup, because soup. And here, let me bring this over. This, anybody guess what this is, class? Do you know what type of fruit or vegetable this is, or what family is it in? I'll give the answer in about like 30 seconds if no one wants to venture a guess, or 30 seconds to a minute, just to give people time to type. But can anybody tell me what this fruit or vegetable is? Here, give me a chance to drink something. Any guesses at all? I'm looking at the chat. Any guesses? Dun 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. Jeremy says, from what I understand, there are people high in the mountains that have potato seeds always on hand. So if the world should fall into chaos, they can assure that we won't run out of potatoes. Well, that You know, I don't know much about that backstory, but yes. I don't know if that just came out of your butt there, Joey Rainier, but yes. I would say yes. Okay, so anyway, for those of you thinking what this is actually from the tomato family. So this technically is a kind of tomato. Doesn't look like a tomato, but that's what it is. It doesn't taste like a tomato, but that's where it's from. All right, let me see here. No, that's legit. Yeah. Okay, let me just see here. This is. Whoa! What is? Hold on a second. I hit the. Oops. I hit the wrong thing. Okay. I don't want to shut anything down. Hold on. Okay. There we go. Okay, there's me and my wifey waiting at the bus. So now I'm already over time talking about Peru, but needless to say, it left us worn out and exhausted. And some things that stand out to me is that Peruvian drivers are absolutely insane. And here was I'm gonna get and there's me and my kiddo. And let me try and get the airborne elite back here. Hold on. Oh, hang on a second. Sheep. Okay, this is not. Alright, I'm totally messed up on the pictures now. They're just not doing what they should be doing. But anyway, sheep. Okay, here we are. More airborne elite, and pictures not doing their job. Alright, hold on. But yes, drivers absolutely insane. I need to spend more time talking about this, I think. I don't know if I will, or if I come back to this. But, oh, and here, hold on a second. Let me get, now, this is kind of cool. Hola, Marion, how are you? Okay, now this is just peaceful. See, this is a stove. This is a place where we stayed in San Miguel, you know? I might post, like, these type of videos. I made some short videos of just, like, some type of static, like whether it's fire burning or someone doing some type of work or animals. I might post those on Instagram sometime or Twitch, or not Twitch, Twitter. No, not Twitter, X. It's called X now. But yeah, drivers absolutely nuts. They're crazy. They go by metrics there, so they literally miss each other on the road by millimeters. And we did, as a family, the whole spread of the transportation system, especially in Lima. We went by these little tricycle cars that were three-wheeled things that had. Hang on a second. I want to show more mountains. I need to show more mountains. Hold on. I at least got to do that for you guys. We went in little vans, we went in cars, we went in buses, we went in huge buses, we went in the train, and any type of transportation we did, someone was behind the wheel, and they were absolutely insane, crazy. Just I mean, I don't know how to other explain it than that. I mean, I was literally praying the whole time. I'm just like, I'm just praying that we make it home and I get my driveway and then I'll be happy. And the Peruvians will literally turn a 3-lane highway into a 5-lane road, just all crammed in there, and they're going like insanely fast. More crazy than Tegucigalpa? Yes, Marion. 100% more crazy than Tegucigalpa. Honduras doesn't know what crazy is. And I am not exaggerating. It was absolutely. I mean, maybe it was a little bit different because Honduras last year I wasn't sick, and we did have someone drive us the whole time in Honduras. Shout out to Nelson, love you, Nelson. But yeah, it just it was a lot more intense. Yeah, I know, Marion. It's just and so that's a slight rant. And everything's more mountainous there in Peru too. Obviously, Andes Mountains. So there's one point in coming back from like taking the 16-hour bus drive from Cajamarca back to Lima, starting out, that my wife was just afraid for her life and for her family's life just by the way the bus driver was driving. And she even was speaking to, because I think drivers would alternate, and she spoke to one of the drivers basically saying, I want you guys to be more careful because there are United States citizens in this bus, and I don't want to bring home my family in coffins. And I think the driver did slow down a little bit after that. But yeah, it just, oh my goodness, incredible. Now, one positive thing I'll say: the dogs in Peru, some of the most well-behaved dogs. The drivers probably looked at you and went, "But did you die?" Yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. But you know what? I wouldn't even have agreed to go on the 16-hour like cushiony seat buses. I wouldn't actually have agreed with my wife to do it if I had looked up before going on them. Just you Google bus accidents Peru, and there is just a list of different dates of buses falling off mountains and just dozens of people dying all the time in Peru. And if I would have seen that before, I would have been like, I'm not going anywhere. But anyway, dogs. The dogs in Peru. Dogs are everywhere. In Lima, I saw them in Lima. Saw them just everywhere. The good side is that they brought you closer to God. Yeah, we never stop praying. Dogs, most well-behaved dogs I've ever seen. About like 99% of the dogs that we saw, and like I said, they were all over the place. Most well-behaved dogs I've ever seen in my life. And they were usually sitting outside their homes, like guard duty or whatever, and they let you pass, and they just sit there. They like sit, sleep, whatever. Doesn't matter what size dog, small, medium, large, doesn't matter. Well-behaved, barely barked. And some dogs like would be walking down the street, and they had a like presence about them, like they were going to a business meeting, like they were like running on an errand, they were doing something. They just weren't wandering aimlessly. Yeah, that's one thing that really stood out to me the most was yeah, the dogs. I mean, there was dog poop everywhere, of course, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, I would say that. Now, I mean, the food, I mean, what food we had, I mean, it was good. I mean, some of the soup we had, it was good. And I tried new things, tried new food. Oh, but anyway, okay. Yeah, hold on a second. Some things that stood out. Okay, let me get out some, I got some other photos here. Okay, let me bring this back down. All right. I don't know why it's not, like, returning this, but oh well. I did something, but anyway, okay. Here's some mountain photos, and okay, that's a picture of property that we were climbing up. So we climbed up this mountain. Fairly easy to do, where you just get to see what I mean about patchwork quilt type terrain, just everywhere. And this is outside of San Miguel in Cajamarca, Peru. There's my shadow. So these mountain ranges, my wife's father, as a boy, would be climbing and running around everywhere. At 5 years old, my son's age, he fought off a mountain lion, and like he got it into like a pit, and then the villagers in San Miguel came out and made sure the mountain lion was dead. But he basically, now look at that. Basically fended it off himself because he was a shepherd. He had to take care of his sheep. Yeah, and there's me. That's just before I got sick. There's my wife taking photos. And so there's San Miguel. So we were in like a property just outside of town, and see there's the town center. You see that yellow church there. And see, there it is, like farther away, and the yellow church is right there. And Joe Crazy said, visited Val and came back a true... Oh, Joe, flatter me, dude. No, you're nice. Visited Valhalla and came back a true legend. Well, yeah. But yeah, I mean, just look at that. And the mountains, they did literally just go on forever. They did. But, and you did have parts of the Andes mountain range that's just like rock, you know, it's not like, you know, fertile land everywhere. But in the area that we were at is mostly fertile land. So yeah, and we went and we explored the town a little bit. They were actually having their Independence Day. They have it like at the end of July, and you know, different day back in time. But most of the people in Peru, very patriotic, you know, for the country. There were Peruvian flags flying outside of homes all over the place. So, you know, good for them. You know, to be proud of their country and their heritage. But yeah, that's my hand. I don't know why it's my hand. Not there. No. That's honey. It was good. And it was actually very good for my throat when I was having strep. These are cousins of my wife. Actually, my cousins, really, because I'm part of that family now. So yeah, my cousins. And they had like beehives, and so they took some of the honey out, and that honey was actually, we have some of it in our kitchen right now. It's just a little bit left because we've had a bit, but that honey was so good. It was so good. Here, let's let me try and pop up. What? Oh yeah, there's a video of me trying honey. Here, hold on a second. Let me see if I can see. Look at that. Yep. See, there I am. And this is after I've been sick, like for a few days, so just good on the throat. There's a fire. Let me get this. Okay, this, and so you got, and these were not bad. These are like a tamale type, although it's not a true tamale. It's called something different, but still, you know, very, very nice. Yeah, there it is. See, not bad, not bad. Okay. Rogue Idealist, hello, welcome back. Hope you had a good, refreshing trip. Well, as I was explaining earlier, Rogue Idealist, and just to keep what I already told, long story very, very short, we were sick for most of the time because altitude in the Andes Mountains in Peru. It definitely was not a vacation. It was more like an adventure, which anything happened. When we definitely came back home, we were just wore out. But Rogue Idealist, thank you. I want to personally thank you for see here, Sorche. Okay, thank you, Marion. Thank you, Marion, for the Tamatitos. Okay. But thank you, Rogue Idealist, for the Takala Titan painted. That was really nice. I actually got to play that with Jeremy Croatan, the Elysium Cullet, the man of Majora's incarnation on the forums. I got to play against him with actually I faced Takala Titan. I used Takala Titan. Jeremy borrowed my Calgarith or Calorith or something, whatever that golden dragon is that they have for C3V. So we did a round with that. I need to do more though, to play more with the Takala Titan in the future. And I do have I have pictures of that. Just give me a moment. Here, let's say okay. This is starfruit, and it's a starfruit tea. That was interesting. That was interesting. That actually tasted pretty good. Okay, and here let me show a little bit more mountains before we move on and talk about ScapeCon3 a little bit. those tomatillos de lote taste good with cream. Yeah, and sometimes we did have like sour cream and stuff. It was really hard to eat or enjoy anything after like 5 days being there, and both me, my wife, and my son got sick. I mean, my son, it was less so, but yeah, it just didn't help. So this is part, I mean, of the Andes Mountains, but this is closer to the coast. So it's like just sand, you know, basically these things are made of. So you know, if you go far enough back in history, that all these mountains, like you could tell that at one point in time, all of this was covered by water. Just the signs are there, which is incredible if you think about it. But yeah, this was yeah. See, look at that. This was one day when we drove from San Miguel out to out west to the coast in a town called Chepen. I think it's Chepen or Lepen, something like that. Yeah, a lot of corn. Yep. And the corn's different there. Some of the corn are the kernels are huge, and I ate a little bit of it, but with my ostomy, I didn't want to eat too much. But yeah, and I could show mountains all day. But yeah, just really, really cool mountains. And I think I'm gonna wrap up the Peru trip in a second. Let me just I mean, there were a lot of things that happened, and I could talk all night about it, but I did want to keep this live stream kind of short because I gotta. My son is now going to school. He's starting kindergarten, and he started today, and now we have to wake up at 6 o'clock every morning to get him ready and out to school. So it's a totally new thing. It's a totally new thing. It's the beginning phase, you know, the next phase of his life. It was from him being born, till this time. And then I have a cat trying to scratch my Brody. And the cats missed us. I mean, we were gone for a month, and our cats missed us terribly. Okay, this was a lake, and don't quote me on the name, I forget. But here, hold on a second. I know. Yep. So there is us, Smiling Adventures, myself, and this was like a couple days after being treated for strep throat. I mean, I was still recovering, but still with fever. Mary, did you see the Andes mountain range? It goes through several countries. Yep, that behind us is the Andes mountain range. All the mountains that you've seen is part of the Andes. That you've seen these photos. And so there's my wife, there's kiddo, and there is my father-in-law, the man, the shepherd, the adventurer. Yeah, that's driving through some towns. You can see, you can just tell here that I think this is in Lepen or Chepen. But the infrastructure, just the building, is just very different, very different, and the cars too. Wait, let me try and pause this. Oh, wait, okay. You see that right there? That is like a little taxi cab, but it's a tricycle. It's like it's got two wheels in the back, a wheel in the front, and you have a driver in the front. But the back part, if you really squeeze in, 3 to 4 or 5 people could probably fit in the back. If you're really squeezing in. So it's just an interesting little taxi cab. They are everywhere. It's just they are everywhere in the country, especially like in Lima, because it's how people kind of get around. A lot of people don't have their own vehicles to drive in, so there's lots of people. I'd say about, maybe, if I were to venture a guess, maybe like 25-35% of the population of the country who transport people, and that's their job. They just get paid to transport people in whatever vehicles they have. It's very interesting how it's done. Here, hold on. Okay. All right. Let me just pop over here. Okay. That looked like an ice cream cone. I thought it was interesting. Here people call tuk-tuk or auto rickshaw. Yeah, I know it's called like rickshaw in other countries. It had a different name But yeah, that you basically got it right, Marion, pretty much. Let's see here. I just want to go back to. I mean, just look at those mountains. Look at those mountains. I could just look at those mountains all day, and we're up really, really high. About I forget. I think the feet above sea level is like 9,000 feet above sea level. I think. I think that's right. Don't quote me on that, but I think I'm right. So yeah, it's very, very thin air. The air is like 15 to 25% thinner than what we would normally breathe here in the States. So yeah, it's a little rough on us. Anyway, okay. Oh, okay. There it is. And see, that's the rooms that we stayed in San Miguel. Yep. A little primitive, but there's me doing laundry, or just posing. Well, my wife does the rest of the laundry, but I was trying to help her out as much as possible. Beautiful, yeah. Here, let me just look at. Okay, that's what I wanted to get to. Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna show this last little bit. Right. Oh, and one thing, these two trees, my father-in-law planted before he left his home in his country, long time ago, and they grew up, and they're both fruit trees. I don't remember which one is which or what fruit, but Marion says, how can you say pila in English? I guess pila, or you mean the translation? I have no idea. I have no idea, Marion. And this is like a makeshift, how would you say, a makeshift oven out here. I mean, very resourceful, these people. And there's one thing I'd also point out, the longevity of the people. I'm already speaking way too late, but the longevity of people, especially when you got up into the mountains. Like you would have, like we had talked to 80, 85-year-olds, and they were doing things that you wanted to, that is fog on. Okay. Where you did laundry. Yeah, laundry. Yeah. But this was actually something that there's a process in which they did. They would make the corn or the grains, and this is like ashes that they would boil up from the fire that they use, and it was actually they made it into like a soup, not to consume, but to wash over the corn and grains to purify them and get them clean. It's very interesting. But anyway, there were sheep. There were sheep there, and they're there. Two baby sheep. Now these two babies, these twins, they lost their ma. Ma, I think, chewed on too much plastic and ended up dying. So the family had to take care of these babies by feeding them. They had quite interesting personalities. These sheep. There was a puppy that was also around, and they would play together. Jose had a ball with the animals. But anyway, they're so cute. Lost mom. Yeah, I know. But I mean, that's part of the animal husbandry, of the place. Let me see here. I'm just looking real quick. Okay. Here, I want to show these. Now, this is one archaeological place that we did go to. See, and I think this is like called something in Spanish, like windows to the souls or something. But these were basically meant to be like burial grounds or memorial grounds for like ancient culture. And I know I've seen these in documentaries, like video, or I've seen these in photographs, but it's just really cool. And this is in Cajamarca. This is just outside of Cajamarca. And it was really cool just to stand in front of them, just to take in that little bit of history. That was kind of a cool thing. Yeah, there's just leading up into there. So that was kind of cool. Let's see, anything else that I want to point out? Anything that stands out to me here? Oh, here, I'll show this a second. All right, a second. Let me see if I can fast forward here. this, everybody asks about Machu Picchu. No, Marion. I mean, we've looked into it, but it would have been a lot longer of a drive and a higher altitude, and just a lot more time and money that we did not have. So, I mean, we saw ruins. I mean, there are ruins everywhere there in Peru. You don't have to exactly go to Machu Picchu. I know that's a famous place, but it would have been a way farther drive and a much longer hike, and we were not healthy. We were not healthy. So no, did not happen. But anyway, okay, this is, it looks like grape juice. It's actually corn juice. It's a purple type of corn, purple black type of corn. And so they have this sometimes after meals, and it's usually served warm or room temperature, usually warm. It wasn't too bad. It was not too bad at all. Let's see here. This was I'm just gonna skip ahead here a second. This is the Pacific. This is looking out. This is the last night we were in Lima, and so this was one time that we were actually in a tourist type area in Lima, and this is just overlooking this little like curvature of a cape there at Lima at night. Tourist area of Lima at night. And actually we stayed like further out in this direction is where we actually stayed with my wife's father's family. So yeah, and then I mean we flew back to Miami, and from Miami we drove from Miami to Nashville in like a day, and then from Nashville back home to Kentucky and stayed home for a day, and then drove up to Indianapolis to see all the wonderful people at ScapeCon. Here, hold on a second. Okay, so let us, hold on a second. Let's just talk about ScapeCon for a minute. I know we'll be talking about it this Sunday on the TV podcast. Hold on. But I do want to give a quick shout out to Rogue Idealist for, it's going to pop up, for this wonderful Takala Titan, which I did put on a base. Wait a minute, do I have it on a base? Okay, yeah, there's a picture of it on a base. I based it before heading out to ScapeCon, and it's a really fun stat card. And I did play it once in here. Let me just let me bring this up here. So yeah, Takal Titan from the NGC Customs, or New Generation Customs. Those guys were very kind enough to send this to me, and I think they said I'm getting like the rest of the first wave sometime. But I'm eagerly awaiting that in the mail. Whenever it is, it's okay. But okay, and here it's like I'm just going to show a second of that. You'll see more of that on Sunday. But here's some of the maps from ScapeCon. Some of the people I met. And here's a game. So I got to play using my bees and Sujoa a little bit as well. Lost all the time. Just the bees are a little bit different army because a little bit different of an army because these bees tend to, you have to, in order for them to be used well, you have to sacrifice them. So you might take out an opponent's miniature, but then you'd have to sacrifice your bee as well. So I got to rethink strategies when it comes to the bees, but I still love playing them. It was still a lot of fun. Now this is something though. This is something. Now these HeroScape pins were handed out. One second. Where's my HeroScape pin? I have it somewhere. Where is it? Right. I'll put it in here. Oh, it's right in front of me. Okay. Anyway, so this was handed out on Gen Con. Renegade handed a bunch of these out at Gen Con. Apparently gave someone, and I think Jeremy will fill us in on Sunday on it, to where they were able to give all of us who attended ScapeCon a HeroScape pin. So here it is. I got one. Yes! I made it worth it. And here, I'm gonna show. I'll wear this on Sunday, but there, ScapeCon3. Got my ScapeCon3 t-shirt. That is kind of cool. And so as G Busy was asking me earlier in the stream, you know, what are some of my favorite things? Those are some. I like this actually shot with the yellow. It just kind of glows that HeroScape thing right up. But yeah, so yeah, got Calgarth there, and then Takala Titan. So me and Jeremy played around. I did videotape some of it, so I might release that on the Tales of Valhalla YouTube channel sometime down the way. I love this C3 miniature of Calgarth. So you got spiders, you got some Green Skull Warriors. Jeremy played a good game. He played a very good game when we were using those. And so yeah, so this Sunday going to be a TV podcast, HeroScape Anniversary. And we'll have a lot more things to say about that on Sunday. Here, I was like, bring up. Let me just put the Takala Titan back up again. Here, hold on. And then I'll finish me chatting. Here. Because where are we at? Okay, yeah, 9:51. Okay, I'm already like a few minutes over of what I actually planned for the stream. That's fine. Talking is fine. So here, let me just show you some of the other ScapeCon things that I got real quick. I got some cards, like, and actually one of this this is a Samuel Brown card. I don't have one, and I plan to paint one of my 4th Massachusetts into a Samuel Brown, so this will be good to have. Like that. I got a New York Saw card because why not? But this was one I needed. I got a Derek Ambershard, but I don't have a Derek Ambershard card, so I got that. I got Death Chasers of Thesk, and I actually have like a squad or two of Death Chasers. So, but I don't have a card of that either. So I got that to use. And then another card I got miniatures of, but I don't have a card of, is Phantom Knights. So pretty useful. So I played a day's worth of ScapeCon. I was only technically at ScapeCon for a day and a half, that Wednesday night and then Thursday morning, or Thursday during the day. So I played about 10 games of HeroScape at ScapeCon, 1 unofficial, 9 official. I only won twice. I have a lot of work to do. I think I'm going to spend some time, instead of animating HeroScape, playing HeroScape a little bit so I can get better next time. One other thing I want to mention before I sign off tonight too, and I want to give some thanks to G Busy, to Cody out there, and I got to meet, you know, some new people, and Cody was one of them, and it was great. It was great meeting you, Cody, there, and I hope I'll be able to see you as well in the future. But I did show up when ScapeCon was wrapping up on Sunday, because I was picking up Jeremy. I was assisting him for him, taking him basically to the Greyhound bus station, so he could wait there and go home. And so I was, you know, Jeremy was saying goodbye to people, and I was introducing to my son to, you know, some people, and of course I got to give a shout out to Mike OEAO and his dad as well for organizing ScapeCon. I think this year it went a lot smoother, and a shout out to Chris Perkins too for designing HeroScape.org. That is just a masterful website, and it really made everything a lot smoother, and it made building armies a lot smoother for me as well. It's a great resource, and congratulations to Chris Perkins as well for winning the championship too. That guy's just quiet, melancholy type of guy, but he knows how to play. I played against him, I think once or twice uh, last year at ScapeCon 2, and he beat me both times. But I took pictures of his armies just so I'm like, okay, I'm going to get these, and I have them now. And I just he gave me some advices, and so it was good. It's always good if you don't lose, you learn. Sometimes you're learning a lot, which I do often. But anyway, so me and Jeremy were getting ready to head out and just hop in the Jeep and with my family and go. And Cody G Busy was saying, wait, you guys, hold on 1 second. I got something to give you. And I guess this was something that he wasn't able to include in the prizes in ScapeCon, and he gave to us. So this is and again, Cody, just thank you so much. I mean, I did not expect this at all, but kudos to you. I mean, I guess he has a lot of C3V miniatures, but this is what he gave us. So this is a C3V Morgan's Rifleman. That's the card. I know it's probably kind of blurry, but he gave me the card, and he also gave me the miniatures as well. And that wasn't the only ones. He also gave me General Simon Fraser and the miniature for that one as well. So my C3V collection just got a bit more, as well as another monk. So this will be the second C3V monk mini I have. My monk army is expanding, which is fine. And this is Chen Tang. And I have a miniature for Chen Tang. He gave me the miniature right there. So yeah, thank you, G Busy, so much for that. Can't thank you enough. And yeah, I plan to be using those miniatures probably sometime in the future. So, and I think that is pretty much it. I guess what I have to say about Renegade announcing that they're going to bring Age of Annihilation back, I'm more than thrilled for that. We have our work cut out for us when it comes to TOV podcast episodes, but it's going to be great. Coming on starting this Sunday, and then for the rest of the year, we have a few things planned. Some of it normal, some of it is going to be our old format where we're looking at classic HeroScape, cards, the stats and lore. Reading through the rest of Thorman's journal. Need to start tackling that, and having guests, possible guests on for the future, and possibly HeroScape like games as well. We did that with Warmonium early this year, and we might have a game or two that's going to be released or crowdfunded sometime in the future where we might have the creators on too. So I mean, we'll have to see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun time these upcoming months towards the end of the year. Oh, and one more thing I want to say too, and I'll mention this in the TV podcast on Sunday too, but Jeremy went to Gen Con as well, and he got to meet Craig Van Ness. And for those of you who don't know who Craig Van Ness is, he is the guy who created the HeroScape, or one of the original HeroScape designers. He's pretty much labeled as the guy, he did a lot for HeroScape, and it has been one of my goals to get that man's attention, just to watch Tales of Valhalla to see what he thought of it. Well, I found out from Jeremy that he has watched my channel and that he enjoys it quite a bit. So that's just Craig, if you're watching, yeah, thanks. That means a lot. And hopefully someday in the future, and I'll say this on Sunday, but someday in the future, maybe we can have you on a TV podcast sometime. That will be a fun interview. It would probably be the interview of the year whenever we're doing it. But yeah, you always have an open invitation, sir, to come on. Let us know. But anyway, I think that is it. I think we're going to wrap up tonight. Again, it's a school night. Every night's going to be a school night now. But yeah, I got. I'm still trying to, after being gone a month. from your home, there's a lot of things that like kind of get on the back burner, and you realize, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, and it's going to take a little bit of time to catch up. But sooner or later, I'll get in the groove of things, and we're going to have some fun. I know, like every other Sunday, going to be TOV podcast, and then I'm still going to live stream on Wednesday. I'm still going to live stream on Sundays where I'm not doing a TOV podcast. We're either going to be playing video games, we're going to be maybe editing some TOV stop motion content that I haven't released yet, and other things probably. Maybe even just having a chat like this with the all fine people. But time will tell, and I'm just looking forward to whatever comes. I hope it's good. But anyway, shout out to everybody in the chat. Marianne, shout out to, let's see here. Shout out to Rogue Idealist. Shout out to Sergio Crazy. I'll see you Sunday, Joe. Shout out to my buddy Joey Ranieri. Shout out to G Busy, Cody. So with that though, I guess I will say what I always say for these streams. You have a purpose in your life. Find it, pursue it, live it. And I'll see you guys this Sunday when we bring back the TOV podcast. We're going to have a fun rest of the year. Later now. Good night.